5 minutes later.
Hey, I thought you were working out.
I did. It's fine. It's fine. Tomorrow.
And that just goes to show you, people, that if you want to be a star, it takes a lot of hard work. Now, why was I working out so hard? Well, here's the thing, you guys. I want to be ready in case the time comes where I am asked to step into a role that I am ready to take on. And what role is that? I'll get to that later. But first, what is up, YouTube and everybody? Welcome to the Nickatina Show's Midnight Run. I know I was off for a few days, but I had to kind of rest up, spend some time with my family, which I love so much. And now I'm back, and I'll be back tomorrow night as well, because this weekend I'll be a little busy because I have some family things going on. But I'm here, and we have a number of topics that we're going to talk about today, and it's going to be a fun time. Let's see who's here in the chat already. We got a bunch of guys here. We got Koozie Cast. What's up, Alex? Master Blaster. DC Extended, of course, he's here. We got Andrew Casali, who will join us when Enoch is done. I sent Enoch a link as well, so if you when he's let's see who else we have here in the chat today. We got Ray's Collection. I'm good, man. Thank you so much for being here. It's just great to have you guys here. What's up, Jesse? And so today we are going to have a special guest. Oh, here's Sickness. There he is. Multipass. What's up, man? We will have a special guest today. What's up, Intruder? And it's going to be Jessica Blake, all the way from the UK. She will be here. And we're going to talk about a few topics that have come up today. But first of all, I just want to say what's up to you guys. I know I've been gone for a few days, so I just want to kind of catch up with you guys and see how you're doing. I know we had a lot of interesting topics that that kind of came up today, especially the whole thing with John Boyega. I know over the weekend, unfortunately, we lost Chadwick Boseman, and that was very tragic and very sad that we lost him. But at the same time, there are a lot of positive things that happened this weekend as well. I'm going to change this. I really don't like how big that is. I used to like it like that, but I don't know. That's better. Now you can see more of me. Not the comments, but more of me. That's what it's all about. No, it's not. Anyhow, let's see. Vikram. Oh, there you go. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there's Sickness right there. Uh-oh. What's up, Jarbo? Hey, Nick. Favorite live action costume for Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man, and why? Well, I mean, obviously, the gray Batfleck suit from BVS is my favorite Batman suit of all time. It's iconic. It has a vintage look to it, although it is just the overall most badass Batman suit I've ever seen on silver screen. For Superman, I like the Man of Steel suit. I love the way the S looks. I love the design of it, the coloring of it. It's just that's my favorite Superman suit, is the one from the first Man of Steel movie. And hopefully we'll get a second one pretty soon. And as for Spider-Man, that's a really good question. I actually like the suit from Far From Home. I actually did like that, and not everybody else did. It used to be the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well, I'll tell you this. In the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I loved his mask. I loved how it had the big white eyes. That's what I loved the most about it. It was so comic book accurate. But I loved how in Far From Home, how the eyes would, kind of react to his emotion. I thought that was really cool that they were able to do that. So, both costumes I think are really, really good. Yes, rest in power, King. Oh, okay. Go for it. What's up, AK? And we do have a special video today from Koozie Cast. Alex sent me a video that I've been meaning to play, but I just haven't been on to play it. So, but I will today though. And if it gets late, I haven't brought it up. Remind me because I am planning on playing that video today. It's a really, really cool video that he and his friends had put together. Well, you know what? I won't even say anything. I'll just let you guys see it later on today. Who else is up in here? Pretty much everyone else we said hi to. Everyone's saying what's up to each other. I love that. I love you guys saying what's up to each other, talking to each other. That's what it's all about. It's all about just having a good time and just being here with each other. I mean, this is what it's all about. Oh, thank you. Well, you're welcome. I hope you're talking about me, not somebody else. I don't think you are. Who else is in the chat today? Let's see. Oh, Leo's here. What's up, Leo? And we said what's up to Intruder already. So there is going to be something that I want to talk about before we get into Jess. We start talking about talking with Jessica about all the topics. We are going to have a DC watch party. We are putting something together right now. And what that's going to entail is it's going to be a DC Fandom watch party. It's going to be for DC Fandom Day 2 on September 12th. We are looking at putting something together as we speak. I already got a hold of some of the guys already. We're likely going to do a watch party where we're all just going to watch the event together. That way, we can get the all of our reactions right away. And so that's something that we are looking to kind of put together. It's not going to be as big of a scale as a crisis event, but what it is going to be is just something where a bunch of us are going to come together and kind of watch that event, especially because there's going to be some movie news happening on that day. So it'll be very exciting to see what news comes out of that. And if you guys have any predictions about what news is going to come out of Day 2, leave it in the chat and let's talk about it. Because really, obviously, the biggest news that we all hope to see is the news about Ben Affleck's Batman. Will we see more information about that, more news about that? Who knows? Do I hope we do? Oh, of course I do, because I mean that's the main story that I want to see the most about. Oh yeah, I can't. That doesn't make any sense. That's the one story that I would love to hear about is news about Ben Affleck and if he's going to be back for more projects with DC in his version of the Batman. Jesse has a good point here. Possible Schumacher cut. Yes, I believe that will be announced on Day 2. That they'll have a Schumacher cut for HBO Max. I don't know. Those are two just bombshells that they're waiting to drop on us, and I really hope they do. Jesse, more Batfleck and the Ayer cut. That would be just something else. But I don't know. I really hope that they do though. And I'm sure, I know you do. I know most of us do as well. Like I said, if you guys have any more predictions, leave it in the chat and I'll bring it up. But without further ado, let's introduce our guest of the day. All the way from the UK, here is Jessica Blake. What's going on, Jessica?
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks.
So awesome that you're here, and thank you for being here as well.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
You see, Jesse's happy to see you as well.
Yeah, cool.
So there's been, so we were talking about DC Fandom Watch Party. We are going to try and put together a little bit of a watch party for that DC Fandom event on September 12th.
Yeah.
I think there is going to be something announced that is more than just the TV shows and the stuff that's already been kind of set up.
I mean, hopefully we get Batfleck and the Ayer cut. Those are the two main big things. But hopefully, and Green Lantern and Justice League Dark and all that good stuff. But it'll be interesting how you do that show, because obviously isn't it supposed to be like more virtual? So you need a trackpad, don't you? So
what we do is basically one person just streams the event, and then everyone else just like is on, just watches, and then we just kind of go from there. But
right, okay.
It's harder. It's a little bit harder because since we don't have a full schedule yet, we don't know like the what the times are. So that's still something that we're slowly kind of trying to work out. Yeah, and
it's
go ahead.
Be on demand, isn't it? Like you can choose what you want to watch.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, because they haven't announced any times or any panel times or anything that I know of, at least. I have to go on there and check again. But I haven't seen any updates about any kind of panel time. So I think it's going to be more of like an on-demand thing. But we'll see. But like Jessica said, I'm so excited to see if we have any news about Ben Affleck's Batman. I think that's probably the biggest, other than the Ayer cut, and obviously we already know that we're getting a Snyder cut. That is probably the next biggest thing that we're waiting to hear about.
And obviously, I don't know if it was intentional, but when Ben Affleck appeared on the Snyder Cut panel, he obviously, I mean, it must have been intentional to have those like books in the background, you know, Killing Joke, Arkham Asylum, like
exactly.
Joker, Deathstroke. I mean, it just makes sense.
It all makes sense, and Leo has a good point too. The Green Lantern series could also be announced, on that day. So we'll see how it all kind of works out. It's not going to be, well, as far as I know, it's not going to be like it was last time, where it's just one big long video event.
Yeah.
So because of that,
apparently it's because obviously it's like how it was originally supposed to be. It's going to be like Fortnite, and so it's like you're a virtual person and you're like using the trackpad. That's why you need like Google Chrome, I think, and you need to like, because I that page with all the questions, I screenshot the instructions of how to use it, because I was like kind of lost, and so I got that saved so that when it starts, I kind of get used to it and how to maneuver around and all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's going to be very different than the previous one. The previous one was just basically you logged in and you just watched a video that was like 8 hours long.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of deceiving too, because but in a good way, because the way they had set it up was that, they would say, this panel, 25 minutes, this panel, 5 minutes. And so everyone's like, man, how is that going to work out? But what everyone kind of like overlooked was the fact that it was pre-recorded. So everything is structured perfectly. So there's not going to be an overlap or no, there's not going to be a lot of dead air. There wasn't. It was all one fluid thing.
I mean, obviously there was stuff in between and like interviews in between and like animation and stop motion and all that stuff. So it kept you interested and kept you kind of engaged. It was great the way they did it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Ray Ray's got a good suggestion as well. That he hopes they mention a Kingdom Come Superman series.
They were hinting at it when HBO Max were hinting at it on Twitter. So hopefully that comes to fruition.
No, they definitely were, and we are getting the Lois and Clark series, and I think it's gonna be on the CW. So, I mean, that already is a step in the right direction, because now we're getting a full-on Superman show. Granted, it is a Lois and Clark show, and it has to deal with like their family life and how they balance everything. But still, it's a show that involves Superman, which we haven't had since Smallville, I want to say, or like Lois and Clark, the other TV show that was out with Dean Cain. Yeah. So it's been quite a while. But the idea that Superman and Batman and these major characters couldn't be on television, I think those days are finally coming to an end. And
I mean, it's a stupid rule. I mean,
it's a stupid rule. It really is.
Yeah, it's kind of blocking out more creativity, basically.
Yeah, no, it really is, and the things that you can put out there on TV is different from what you can put out there in, obviously in a movie. So, giving.
But kind of the lines are being blurred now, because we're getting Justice League Dark, which is supposed to be a series, and then we get movies connected to that. So HBO Max, I think, is the place where TV and movies kind of merge and kind of play together, which is what they talked about on the multiverse panel. So it's exciting times.
It's very exciting times, and right now it's probably the best time ever to be a DC fan when it comes to in terms of media and in terms of what you can watch in the movies and streaming and all that. I mean, it's just right now they're on fire. And what's funny is that there's DC right now is so hot, and they haven't even nothing's even come out yet, and we're so excited about it. That's the best part. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's thanking you for all the support.
Oh, it's a pleasure. All that you do I'm happy to support. I mean, I'm just excited to see the haircut. I mean, hopefully it is announced on day 2. I mean, David Ayer has been hinting at it, with the dice. So hopefully on the 12th, we get it. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I hope they do. I would say probably that's one of the one things that if they didn't announce something that would probably be the one topic that they don't even touch is the Ayer cut.
Yeah.
And why that is, I'm not sure, but I want to see it. The fans want to see it. We
want to see Jared Leto's full proper performance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were reading over some of the tweets or a post from this guy Cinephile who had supposedly had seen the a screening of Suicide Squad, and it was such a better storyline, and it was more connected, and it had.
I literally yesterday, because I don't know if I had yet, or I think I may have listened to parts of it, but I went through the whole soundtrack of Suicide Squad, and that's kind of seeing that I don't know if they re-recorded stuff or anything, but the track June Moon, we know that the Ayer cut starts with the origin of June Moon.
Yes.
And the beginning of the theatrical cut, the soundtrack starts with the that sound, and that's whatever that was. And that's the beginning of the track June Moon. So I'm guessing they took that from the Ayer cut and just added it on, and in the theatrical cut it goes straight to Bell Rev, but the theatrical soundtrack has the soundtrack of the Ayer cut, and it starts with June Moon. So I thought that was really interesting.
Well, and it would make a lot more sense if the film started in wherever she was at in the jungle out there, where she finds the relic, and then she, gets, I guess you could say, she gets, possessed or controlled by Enchantress. And but that whole scene needed to be fleshed out. We need to know more about what was happening there, because she was there with a crew of people. Then all of a sudden she's by herself, and then she gets taken over, and then that's really all you know about it. So
I mean, it's just an edited down, just quick montage version, and we deserve to see the whole thing. As David Ayer says, it's a normally structured film.
Yeah.
Yes. It starts with June Moons. Yeah.
And there were some parts, because I remember that David Ayer had put a post out saying that, kind of hinting the fact that he was not in control of the final edit of the film before it was released, and which kind of shows, because go ahead.
He even hinted that he wasn't in control of the reshoots either.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they were telling him, what scenes that they wanted him to shoot and what they wanted to add into the film, but I mean, right off the bat, when it's like leading into the whole Bell Rev scene, it says like black site, or it says Louisiana black site, and right when it comes up, for some reason they put that in black text. So the moment it goes over the black background, you can't even read it. You're like, wait, what did it say? What did it say? And everything was so short. You had no time to read anything. Even the descriptions that they would put down for the characters, you barely had any time to read any of that. I remember thinking, I was like, okay, so I guess when I buy the movie, I can like pause it and read all that, because I'm not going to read it now. I mean, there were things that I had friends telling me that they read that I didn't even know was there, because I didn't even read it fast enough. I was like, man.
I mean, Jeff Johns added that, thing about Harley being with the Joker when he killed Robin, and that breaks Ayer's story. So all of that stuff, it's just, And
a lot of it was unnecessary to add things like that. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be such a better story. And it's like, I want to see it because it really connects to Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's a whole part of that movie that involves Steppenwolf and his parademons that they completely cut out. And Jesse and I kind of talked about that a few nights ago when we were talking about the Ayer cut, because there's a whole part of that film that she is trying to bring Steppenwolf to Earth, and that's how she's going to be in favor, kind of basically she wants to be allied with Darkseid at this point because he, he's in charge at this point, and she's an old god, and she's trying to get in favor with the new gods. And it would make sense too because when you watch the theatrical cut of Justice League, he's already on Earth, and so it's kind of. But see what they try to do with that film is that they tried to kind of hide that fact because the first time you see him, he's on Themyscira, so it's like, oh, he's not really on Earth because he's on. He is, but he isn't. But it's kind of like, well, how the hell did he get there in the first place? Did the Mother Box bring him there on its own? No, it didn't. So anyway,
and hopefully, the air cut explains that, and it works in tandem with it, and it just sort of, exactly.
Yeah, screw Jeff Johns. It makes you wonder, though. I always wonder, where were they going with this? Let's say that Justice League came out and it was a success, which I don't know how it could have been, but let's say it was a success, right?
Thankfully, it wasn't, because if it was a success, we wouldn't be getting crazy.
Exactly. We'd all be,
we have to be thankful for Joss Whedon for screwing it up so badly. Yeah.
But I mean, I often wonder, where was the story even going? It seems so broken and so screwed up that what's that? And rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely felt way too rushed. Akbar writes, "Wait, Incubus still able to exist in the air cut or not? I forgot. I don't know. I think he's in that, but
so. Obviously, it was originally supposed to be Steppenwolf, wasn't it?
I don't know if Steppenwolf had like an action scene in that film where it was him instead of taking on Diablo.
Apparently, the actual air cut Steppenwolf's at the very end, so I think it still is Incubus. But
yeah. And it would make sense too, because when all that is happening, Steppenwolf comes to Earth, and then what he needs from Enchantress he's done. Like all he needed from her was to get to Earth, and once he sees the squad, he's like, "Well, I'm out of here." And then he leaves probably with his parademons, which is probably only a handful of them, because that starts the process in which they are going to start abducting people and turning them into parademons so that he can build his army. Because at the end of the day, he's going to look to backstab Darkseid as it is. So he's building his army for more than one reason. Hey, new subscriber here. Hey, thank you.
Oh, that's great.
So we can go on and on about the air cut. I really could. And I really want to see this movie, be yes, she does. Okay. She likes Birds of Prey. I know she does.
I mean, also I love Birds of Prey. I literally got a Birds of Prey mug, but I think the air cuts, especially with seeing Jared's full performance and seeing that like toxic relationship between Harley and Joker, when you see Birds of Prey, it just makes that emancipation so much more impactful, and it just works so much better, because obviously in the theatrical cut they literally go off together, and they're Bonnie and Clyde of the DC universe, as Jeff Johns said, and like the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just doesn't work with the theatrical cut. So I hope yeah.
Well, that whole scene was added too by Jeff Johns, where he breaks her out of it was falling apart, and there was a whole the whole storyline where her and Deadshot become a thing, and that whole thing was taken out of the film completely.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what he was getting at with the storyline. Where I'm trying to find somebody on here. Oh, there he is. But like I said, we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, because it's such a, what is this? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I should have seen one time. I was trying to send somebody a link to the what is this? Oh, hold on. I started a stream of I hit play on the actual stream of this on YouTube on a separate window. So I had an echo going on there. Anyhow, yeah, Diablo survives. That's another thing too. Diablo lives in the air cut, and then
we saw it in the first trailer as well. That whole story. I mean, obviously that's one of the only battles that Aya won, and that story and that character is just so layered and so kind of like juicy and like brilliant. And I just think, you know, hopefully we get more of that and we'll get more of, you know, Aya's vision, which would be great.
So going back to what Jesse had asked you, like, do you like Birds of Prey?
Yes.
There are aspects of the film that I do like. Do I think it's their best film? I don't, but there are parts of it that I do like in the film. I think that they took a turn with the character that you know, the way she was. I guess if you look at it, her portrayal of the character in Suicide Squad, she in a sense was more juvenile, was less.
I mean, she's in a very different part of her life, and
Exactly.
and she's going through quite a lot, and she's kind of changing, and that's the whole point of her emancipation and all that stuff. And then it just works perfectly because now the Suicide Squad is going to be another chapter of her life where she's with different people and she's kind of grown up almost in a way and kind of evolved. And then hopefully we get Gotham City Sirens, and then that's the next chapter, and hopefully you get Harley and Ivy and all of that, you know, hopefully it leads to that.
Yeah, and you know, one scene that I liked a lot in Birds of Prey was the scene where they're in the evidence room, and she has that whole action sequence. Like that scene, I liked a lot. And you know, when you watch the film, in my opinion, at least, it to me it directly connects to David Ayer's, or I guess you could say the Suicide Squad, because I mean they make references to that movie. They show scenes from that movie, so it's obviously a sequel from that movie. So I mean one of the biggest gripes that a lot of viewers had, and I did too in a sense, was that they killed off Black Mask, which I wish it would have kept them alive.
I mean, I think that you could have a prequel, or just that, you know, because I know it's a big theory that Harley's such an unreliable narrator, and so you could have it so that, because they were toying with having it be more ambiguous and that you didn't see him die and he just sort of disappeared into the water, which I think probably would have been better. But I think that it's kind of, I mean, he could come back in a way and it just be explained that, I mean, like you know, Harley is like high and just like, you know, doesn't know what's going on. So, you know, I mean, it could be explained that she just sort of, I think elements of the film, it works that, because the film is telling you that she's seeing the world, like we're in Harley's mind. That's the whole film, that it's like we're seeing it through her eyes. And literally the film shows you that, because, you know, when she blows up Ace Chemicals, it's like fireworks and like pretty colors, and then when Renee Montoya gets there, it's just flames. And so that you know, he could just, maybe not with Harley, maybe not meet Harley again, but you could see him in the future, and it just explained that, you know, Birds of Prey is like Harley's kind of fucked up mind, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is that if you had a film where somehow if she was in it and Black Mask showed up, you know, one of her co-stars, or, you know, whoever she's with, can say, I thought you said he was dead.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, there, you know, and that would totally work, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's the fun of it. And that's the fun of Birds of Prey, because it's like, that's exactly why Kathy Ann, I think just before it was released, that she was saying it was kind of in this kind of different kind of world, because it's Harley's kind of point of view, and that's kind of really unpredictable and kind of skewed. So that's the fun of it. Yeah. And
Andrew, I will post the link in the chat a little bit later. But right now it's just gonna be Jessica and I, and then I am gonna bring you guys on in just a little while. So just be patient, but I will post the link in the chat. So one of the major topics that came up today, not to switch gears on you so quickly, but was the whole John Boyega speaks out. And I mean to me, this felt like, look, you know, he came out, he said what he had to say. I like what he said. And I feel like I was at work all day, so I could be wrong, but I felt like he didn't get a lot of negative flack that, let's say, Ray Fisher did.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's sort of slightly different, but very much connected. I think Ray Fisher's is obviously a little bit more serious and a bit more kind of, you know, a legal battle. It's kind of a bit more official, but it's still like issues within the industry, isn't it? So, you know.
yeah, and there were a lot of things that he had pointed out in his in the article, you know, saying that you know, why build up your character, or like why build up this character, showing him, you know, with a lightsaber, showing him that like he has a bigger role in the story. And then come The Last Jedi, that whole, it was just abandoned. You know, The Last Jedi, love it or hate it, it was a very divisive film. I didn't like it personally. There were parts of it that I did like, but in all, I really did not enjoy the film. I didn't like some of the things that they did to the characters. And so it didn't work for me at all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of revealing myself here. I did like The Last Jedi, but I do agree that John Boyega's, you know, Finn was sidelined, and that was probably the weakest, you know, one of the weakest things about it. And, you know, he should have, I mean, he definitely should have been a Jedi. I think with Rey, that's what should have been, you know, going from Stormtrooper to Jedi. It should have, you know, but yeah.
Well, and that was the thing too, is that once we got to The Last Jedi, we go on about this too. Once we got on to The Last Jedi, you know, she's already on what was the name of that planet he was on? I already forgot the name of it. Octu.
Yeah.
He was already she was already on Octu. She was, you know, she was there with Luke. And it was such a build up to that moment, a build up to see what he was going to say, what was going to happen. And his reaction, to this day, I hated it. Though he threw it behind, you know, like, oh, whatever. And I don't want to be a Jedi anymore. And, or, you know, I don't use the Force anymore. And I mean, like, I get it from a standpoint of like, you know, that's a very different take on it. And it wasn't what you were expecting.
I mean, my counterpoint is that the whole film is about his kind of redemption.
Right. Exactly.
Back to being more like Luke previously, but I get it that you know, for viewers it was kind of out of left field. I totally get that. Yeah,
I thought it was a little too comical. You know, the way how he kind of threw it over his shoulder. It was kind of like, what? Yeah. I know that's what he wanted to. That's what Rian Johnson was going for. He wanted a reaction of like, what the hell? But to me, it was a little too much. I just thought it just didn't flow well for me. That is. But no, you know, John Boyega talked about a number of things, and in fact, let's see, I have the article from Variety right here.
Why would somebody sign up to join the dark side or join the First Order?
What is that?
It's a video in the
choice.
What is that?
It's the interview.
Oh, it's up here. Here it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the time, from the ashes, the First Order was.
I didn't know that was going to be there. Okay, so anyhow. So here is the article. I guess I can play it right here.
It was rising and they needed.
No, let's not do that. Okay, so this article kind of goes into detail about the things that he was saying. You know, he talked about how Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver's character obviously were more fleshed out, but then again, they were the main characters of the whole story. So I mean, but I get where he's coming from. But you know, in the end, you know, he did back J.J. Abrams. He said J.J. Abrams, you know, he said, you know, where was it? Everyone needs to leave my boy alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back to save your shit. I mean, but essentially that's what they asked him to do.
Out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. So there was a lot of stuff they had talked about, and it's a really good article. It's on Variety.
Yeah.
But
it goes into a lot of details. It's really well written as well.
Now, and he was part of the whole Black Lives Matter protest as well. I think that was it was in London too.
Have you watched the video that goes with it?
The one that I accidentally played.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the article and then I watched the video, and him talking about the protest and how it was his first protest and how he was like asked if he would speak, and it just kind of came naturally. It wasn't planned. It just kind of poured out of him. It's a really good interview. Yeah.
Well, if you guys, go to Variety, watch the video. I'll play a little bit of it just because you talks about it. Let's see.
People by force. Obviously, that's how you have a fresh new.
I
slate
think this video isn't.
for our
I
individuals.
don't.
You can't hear it?
And
I
there's
don't think
history.
this video is the it's not the interview. I think it's just a random video. Yeah.
It's just a random video. Well, anyhow, go to Variety. The article is there.
It's the actual video is them sitting down with the actual interviewer, and it's kind of it's different. Anyway.
Oh, it's different. Okay.
Yeah.
That was like a 5-minute video too. I was like, here we go. We're going in deep now.
Yeah.
DC Extended writes, I hope they bring back Black Mask and Victor Zsasz.
Good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, especially Victor Zsasz. But I think Black Mask would be a really good. I mean, heck, maybe he could appear in the Batfleck project. I don't know.
Exactly.
That would be interesting.
If they announce that Batfleck series or movie, I swear to God, that is going to be like the biggest announcement of the entire year. I mean, it is going to be,
and they know it, and if it's true and it's going to happen, they know, because they want part 2 of DC Fandom to be as big or even bigger for announcements, because I think part 1 was kind of it had like big reveals, not so much big announcements, like, because we didn't get the Black Adam casting, we didn't get lots of casting, lots of kind of reveals in that sense. So I think they're kind of saving those kind of things, maybe the casting for Justice League Dark and Green Lantern. Hopefully, I think they're keeping stuff back because 22 million viewers for part 1. They're going to want to replicate that and do just as well or even better if possible. So I think the Batfleck, if that is true and it's happening, they know that's gonna like break the internet.
Andrew, I don't know why he was not in the film. I don't know if Jessica, do you know the answer to that question?
Who was not in the film?
Jared Leto and Birds of Prey. He's going back to Birds of Prey.
Yeah. I think just because I think they didn't want him in the film. I think it works better without him personally, just because it's Harley's story, it's Harley's emancipation, and bringing him. I think it just would have kind of been distracting, and it kind of taking away from the actual story of the emancipation and her getting away from that toxic relationship. And without him there, it's more focused on that, and but obviously hopefully we can explore Jared's Joker and the kind of post kind of the emancipation, hopefully hopefully Jared Leto comes back, and that would be really interesting for him to come back in Gotham City Sirens, or a Joker Harley film or whatever. It'd be really interesting to see post. Maybe when Harley and Ivy are a thing in the future, then he could come back and it could be an interesting thing, and they could do so much with it. Endless possibilities.
Yeah, no, there's so much that you can do, and speaking of endless possibilities, there was let's see, where is it? There was this whole thing that had come up from Mikey Sutton about the multiverse being dead. What's your take on that? I don't think it's dead.
No, it's. That's nonsense, isn't it? We wouldn't have had a whole event centered around the DC multiverse and explaining it, and they just wouldn't scrap it. They wouldn't scrap something that they haven't fully done yet, because we haven't got the films and the shows yet where that concept has really been in play, and so they wouldn't scrap it before they've even done it. So
it would look really bad if they did do that. Like, if they scrap that idea, then once again it would look it would give the impression that they don't have an idea of what they're doing.
I mean, it's kind of impossible to scrap because we're getting the Batman, we're getting Green Lantern, we're getting Justice League Dark, which apparently are separate to the DCEU. That they can't scrap it because they're already doing it. So anyway.
So Intruder asks, knowing it can be longer. Oh, so what would you guys like to be the title of the series? Well, obviously it can't be the Batman because that's what Matt Reeves' series.
I mean the Gotham series, the HBO Max series.
But I thought you're talking about the Gotham PD series.
Yeah.
But that's going to be connected to Matt Reeves's universe.
Yeah. You're asking what the title of the show is going to be.
I think he's asking if they were to do a Ben Affleck Batman series, what would it be called?
I think I have two options. Maybe the one that I really kind of hope is Batman v Deathstroke.
Could be.
Or Batman Arkham Asylum.
And it could be that. I think that's a great option right there, Batman Arkham Asylum.
Because that's and that's what it's it's about. Kind of apparently the script is about Batman facing the Rogues Gallery in Arkham Asylum, but it's also about him facing his own demons and his fighting for his soul. Yeah, so it sounds great.
I think that if you want to, I think all those names work. I really do.
Yeah. The
only
kind of problem with Batman v Deathstroke would be that if Jared Leto's in it, hopefully he has a big role in it as well. So it's not just Batman v Deathstroke.
Right.
So that's kind of the thing, but it's a great title.
BVD.
Yeah.
There's a BVS and a BVD. But another name I think that they could put out there that would just differentiate itself from everything else is to kind of go with the formula that they have now in terms of just calling it straight up Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
If they call it that, I mean, to me, that just says exactly what you need to know. This is Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if the Ayer cut is called David Ayer's Suicide Squad as well. So they could run with that. I mean, there's legal issues, obviously, as we know, with Zack Snyder's Justice League. They're having trouble with those kind of names. So I don't know, but it's a nice idea.
Andrew writes, I want WB and DC to give Superman love and attention that they're giving Batman.
With you, Andrew. Superman. It's and Supergirl, and there's so many, so much more, like so many possibilities that it does at the moment seem like they're really Batman centric, and I really hope that we get. So I mean, like films that are completely different, and hopefully that DC can really branch off into like different territories, and hopefully we can get like really unexpected stuff, like New Gods. I'm really excited for New Gods, and
I think the New Gods is gonna be really good. I mean, just to kind of put out that storyline and to go back to see, how those gods interact with each other and how they got to to where they are now. Leo has a good. Well, see, I don't know. I don't think you can do Dark Knight because it's too close. It's too close.
Yeah, I mean, it's that would be like really confusing. I mean, just calling it Dark Knight without the it's kind of it doesn't really work.
Yvonne, I don't even think you can't even say Ben Affleck's The Batman because Matt Reeves' series, trilogy is gonna be called The Batman. So I think it just has to be Ben Affleck's Batman, or like Jessica was saying, Batman Arkham Asylum, or something has to do with that.
I personally think I love Batman versus Deathstroke, but I think Arkham Asylum is probably the best title for it, just because that's what it's about. Apparently, it's about Arkham Asylum. So, and that would make it more kind of varied, and so hopefully we could get even more Rose Gallery, and it's not just Deathstroke. I mean, the main plot we know is Batman versus Deathstroke, and it's about Lex recruiting Deathstroke. And that's the main crux of the plot, but also hopefully we get Jared Leto's Joker, and we kind of hopefully the Ayer cut hopefully redeems Jared's Joker, and we finally see his true full performance, and then hopefully that's well received, and then that leads us into the Batman, into Ben Affleck's Batman, and getting more Jared, and hopefully the future for Jared's Joker is really bright. Because also you've got to think that Ben Affleck's Batman isn't going to be filmed for quite some time, because Ben Affleck's got so many projects, and his next Batman appearance is in The Flash in 2022.
Yeah.
So we'd get Batman in either 23 or 24, and that's around the time we'd get the sequel to the Batman, hopefully, and that's rumored to introduce the Joker as well in a small role, because it's rumored that Joker will be in the sequel, and then in the third film will be the main antagonist. And so it'll be interesting to get 2 Batman projects with 2 Jokers. That'd be crazy, but pretty cool.
It's gonna be really cool. I mean, next year it's gonna be the year for DC, unless Marvel can pull something off. Which you know, I won't doubt that they can pull something really put something together really good. But
did you see that Eternals? I mean, I think Eternals is going to be personally really good. I mean, it sounds like Chloe Zhao's like whole thing is that it's like a mix of East and West, and she's like designing all this stuff herself, and she's apparently the whole reason they're doing the film is because of her vision of it. So I think Eternals is going to be kind of a unique film for Marvel.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm really looking forward to Eternals, and
because it's about the history of humanity, and it sounds really, really cool.
Let's see.
Obviously, next year Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think Marvel, DC, or whatever, that is the biggest event. I think it's a massive, massive event.
Actually, you know what? There was something I wanted to ask you about that. So I haven't talked to you probably since I think I did a stream with you for Justice Con.
Yeah.
And so you know, when I catch up with people that I haven't talked to in a while, especially since then, one question that I like to ask is, I mean, so your reaction to Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer? I mean, that was just,
yeah. I like got really emotional. I personally think it's one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Just the way that the song is for autumn, and it was one of her favorite songs. It just it chokes me up every time I think about it. It's just amazing.
It was so amazing, and I think it was probably one of the only times that I watched a trailer, and the entire time I was in awe. I was literally watching it, just like, I mean, like, I couldn't believe that we were actually seeing this trailer. It's something that we've been talking about for who knows how long, 3 years, 4 years, and finally we're seeing it. I mean, it was, and the song was so perfect with that trailer. It was so fitting.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it was incredible. I was gonna play the trailer at one point, but I don't know if I have time for that. But it was just so incredible. And
I mean, any excuse to watch it again, I'm here for it.
you're like, I'm not gonna stop you, I'll tell you that. But no, it just, and there were so many things about it too that that we didn't see in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everything we saw in that trailer was brand new footage.
Yeah, I mean, I love it because it's a journey through the movement, and obviously Zach said that a lot of the footage, a lot of the black and white photos on Vero were taken from the trailer that he edited 2 years ago. It's so it's kind of, and the song and everything, it was kind of a journey through the movement, and you know, a celebration of the movement and what it's accomplished, the charity, it's, you know, all of that stuff. It's amazing.
And the thing that we have to remember too is that the whole Snyder Cut movement, it's more than just a movie, but this was obviously this was just amazing to see it actually come to fruition after everything that we've all done in this movement. But I think that I want everyone to remember too that what's that?
Oh, you go. That's fine. Oh, well,
I was gonna say
no, you you go.
I want everyone to remember that this is just the beginning. This is not, when this movie comes out, it's not over. This is just the beginning of this whole thing. So
future, hopefully. But also
exactly.
The trailer doesn't show, I mean, thinking that we're going to see Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern and Deathstroke and all of that stuff. I mean, the trailer shows us nothing. It's a tiny glimpse. I mean, it's 2.5-minute trailer, and it's very much a teaser because it's a 2.5-minute trailer with just like footage and music, and then a tiny clip at the end with audio.
Exactly.
It's a 4-hour film, so we've basically we've seen the tip of the iceberg. So it's people haven't followed the movement and don't know. And I was watching reaction videos around the time it was released, and people like seeing it for the first time and kind of discovering all this new stuff. They have no idea what's coming. We've got the film's going to be so jam-packed with.
Oh my gosh, it really is. I mean, it just what do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think? Should we play it?
I'm down.
Should we play the trailer? All right, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
If I get taken down, it'll only be for a few minutes, which it shouldn't be because it's the official trailer. So,
I mean, it should be fair use.
Exactly.
YouTube rules.
Now I've heard there was a chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord.
That opening.
You don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Ah! It's amazing!
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I did my best.
I mean,
that shot.
Man.
I couldn't feel.
Every
so
shot
I
is
tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool.
I mean, oh my god. The shot of Desaad right here.
Yeah.
It all went wrong. I'll stand before the Lord of song with nothing.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Could be. Could be. I did. I love this last part.
Yeah.
This guy's probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Perfection. And he's actually Barry Allen in that. He's not a Wally West ripoff.
Yeah, exactly. And that scene alone, when he's talking, when Barry Allen is talking, saying, we have to assume that he's fought other beings from other worlds. Like even just the the color grade and the
Yeah.
tone of that shot. It's so different at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I was like, oh my God, this isn't. We knew it was a different movie, but this just took us to a whole new level.
Yeah, to actually see that it is and to see the proof, it's just amazing.
Oh my God.
Hallelujah,
I'm like getting chills right now just from watching that right now.
I think I've watched it. I don't know, like 50, 60, you know, like I've seen it
like every day I watch it at least once. I mean, I watch it more than once a day, but still it's so good. And what's funny is that I used to watch like fan edits of the theatrical cut, and I used to be like, well, this is as good as it's gonna get. And then now we're actually getting the real thing, and it's going to be incredible, and it's going to be such a different film. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Oh.
I mean, literally, probably, I think it's the most hyped I've ever been for anything in my life. It's like,
it's going to be incredible. What's this? You guys want to see the coolest reaction trailer? What is this? Oh. I don't know what this is. I can't even click on it because it's like sickness.
I've
sickness.
seen a lot of reaction videos.
I know. I hope it's not mine. Because I was doing a stream with Fatal J.
Right. Yeah.
And we had Abu Naz and a bunch of guys were on there. It was actually it was Fatal J's show, and so I came on because my show was next. For Crisis, because that was gonna be the first leg of the watch party,
right?
And then all of a sudden, I started noticing in the chat that everyone was talking about the trailer, and so I told Fatal J, I said, "Hey, Fatal J, I'm like, something's going on in the chat. Something's going on." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, well, they're saying that they've seen the trailer," and he's like, "Wait, what?" And then I even said, I was like, "Dude, Sill's talking about it." I'm like, "This is legit. This is not fake." Like,
when it was leaked.
Yeah, when it was leaked, I was like, "What's happening?" And then so because we're big nerds, we all jumped on there and we had to watch it. But that was probably I've never experienced watching something with all those guys and just we were all just in awe the entire time, just like it was such a great experience, and it's on YouTube and you can watch it. It was pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
I showed my wife that video. She was laughing the entire time. She was like, "You guys are so funny." I was like, "Man, we were just freaking out."
Yeah, it's the event of the year. I mean, yeah.
And in the trailer itself, it surpassed so many expectations of what we were hoping to see. I mean, it just gave you so much to talk about, to look at, to experience.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of scenes too, like. If you look at the scene where it shows Jason Momoa and he's walking backwards into the water, the person he's talking to, I mean, that's Volko. I mean, you could see based on like his armor on his shoulder, he had longer hair. Plus, the very next scene, you see Amara in the water still, so which she's probably further back watching, like, who's that guy? He's hot, yeah. But like that whole scene with Volko is going to change a lot of things too, So.
Yeah. Because also at the end, Zach kind of merged two clips because it's obviously you see Jason in the armor and then you see him without it, and so it's in the back cave and then it's in the hangar. So it's two different scenes that Zach kind of merged to trick us. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of that in the trailer that Zach merged scenes to look like it's the same scene. So yeah, it's just so exciting.
He says it's a guy reacting to a trailer. Okay. Well, I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
And then in Sickness, I don't know if you're on Twitter or not. I think you are. I'm not sure. But DM me the link, and then I'll check it out tonight. But no, it's I cannot. I literally cannot wait for this movie. But here's the thing: is that we want to know so much about Ben Affleck and what projects he has set up. If there are any further projects that he's going to be doing, we want to know about it so bad. But if you're Warner Brothers or Warner Media, you don't have to put that out there because like this already is generating so much buzz. You can take your time with everything else. Like, hey, all right, Ben's signed or Ben's agreed to this. He's going to do it. Do we have to tell anybody yet? Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
But also, I think they're wanting to create, announcing it would be kind of earth shattering in a way for like the fandom and for the world. It would kind of, the Flash was big enough for him being in the Flash, but
that was huge.
Getting his full project would just be on another level. I think it would just be incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially having Joe Manganiello be a part of that as Deathstroke, and just oh my god, this is a question from the trailer. In the trailer, it looks as though Aquaman gets his trailer from Atlantis. I mean, his armor.
Trident.
Trident. I'm not sure.
But also, when Zach said that, because I've watched the trailer so many times, I've noticed that obviously the trident is different.
It's different, yeah.
And the if that's King Atlan, obviously in the history lesson, and we know in the theatrical cut they changed it to, I don't know what they did. It's the shot of Aquaman kind of coming up and seeing a dead soldier, but in Zach's cut, I think it's the dead King Atlan, which contradicts Aquaman, obviously, because the whole film was about finding Atlan. But it can be solved if in the film he's not kind of named Atlan. You could say it's Poseidon, or but if it's named Atlan, that's a kind of conflicting with Aquaman. But for me personally, if that is the case, then I don't see it as that it's not the same. It's just you can kind of explain it that Aquaman is just a different in the multiverse, just the same story, just that part is different. You can explain it that everything else is the same, but that part can be different, and then they can carry on. Because I think Aquaman 2, I think is going to be, especially now that Zack's back and we're getting Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think Aquaman 2 is going to be more along the lines, because they've said it's more serious. I think it's going to be more along the lines of Zack's cuts, and I think Jason has more freedom, and Jason kind of pitched the film, didn't he? So I think it's going to be more in line with Zack's, because Jeff Johns had a lot to do with the Aquaman film. There was a lot of behind the scenes changing, and like Peter Safran, who's a producer on it, he came onto it late, and there's a lot of changes behind the scenes. So I think Aquaman 2 is going to be a smoother ride behind the scenes, I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to be incredible, and honestly, like whatever King that he gets that armor and well, because I mean in Justice League he didn't have a trident, he had a quintet, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Well, it has 4. So, but that was the one that his mother had. Remember, that's how they explained it in Aquaman, was that was his mother's.
Yeah.
So, but and now I'm trying to remember now. In Aquaman, did he already have that?
Well, yes, because I think in Justice League he's given it. He's the whole in Aquaman is that he's given it by Volko, isn't he, when he's younger, to train and stuff.
Yeah, because in Justice League, well, and I shouldn't say Justice League, but
yeah.
In Justice League,
Why did you say that name?
Yeah, see, that's a rule that I have on my show. You can't say Justice League, and I say it every time. Right. So, in that movie,
a cursed word.
Cursed
name.
In that version of the film, he supposedly got all that from Mara. Remember, he said, "Well, if I'm going to do this, then I need something from you." And she's like, "Okay."
Well, yeah, I think so. But I think he gets the armor from Volko, and I think that's because obviously they keep the quintet. So he's obviously trained with it with Volko when he's younger, and then he gives it back to Volko. I think they're talking about the armor more than anything. I think the
so
is with it.
Yeah, so I think he brings him the Quindent, and then he tells him where to get also he's gonna need armor, and that's where he gets the armor from, is from probably a statue of Atlan. I don't know what it is. But obviously it wasn't the armor that Atlan wore in the end, because remember, well, in Aquaman, we don't know how much this relates to it or not, or connects to it, but he was wearing that gold armor when he found him. So maybe that was like his warrior or his battle armor. I don't know, because it was bigger and more robust. You know what? Who cares? I don't even care anymore. I just want to see the damn movie.
Well, for me personally, I think even if it does contradict, that's kind of the fun of it in a way. Just because if it's a tiny contradiction like that, it's just because it's a different vision in a way. I mean, it can be connected, and everything else can be connected. It's just if there's tiny inconsistencies, that's just kind of up to the director, and it's just like the comics, with a different writer comes different, a different vision, every time, even though it's the same story, it can, and a different artist changes the look. And I mean, that's the great thing about what DC are doing now, is that they're doing it like the comics, which is what Marvel kind of toying with, especially with the multiverse, but having films like Joker, which is just like a DC Black Label book in a way, and it just mirrors the whole of DC is just kind of in unison in a way that it's just brilliant, I think, because the comic book format is just so great. I mean, it's crazy that it's taken them this long to do the multiverse.
I know.
That is just, especially with a director-driven, or they're supposed to be director-driven studio, it just works perfectly. Yeah.
And for Sickness, I'm gonna play this just for you.
Kalel, no.
So I don't think that scene will be in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but
no, I don't think so.
I don't think so. So this will be a unique take on the character.
Kalel, no.
I mean, that scene already didn't make any sense when I saw it in the theater. I was like, "What? How do you know that?" But
I mean, it's so stupid that Joss made Superman, like, he basically made Superman evil in that. But the whole point in the Snyder Cut is that he's like dazed and confused, and he's kind of, he's not, saying "Do you bleed?" to Batman is literally just doesn't make any sense. Literally, Zack said it doesn't make any sense on Vero. It's just so stupid. Just so stupid.
You Can Call Me Joker writes, he gets the armor from Volko, but he arrives to the Atlantean mother box before Steppenwolf and have a nightmare vision of armies invading the mainland.
Wow.
I've never heard that before, but that sounds pretty cool to me. He actually, You Can Call Me Joker, he was saying how he had some information a while back about the storyline. I want to say maybe this is some of the stuff that he had, but I don't know where you got this from, but it sounds pretty damn cool, and it would be very different. I mean, that's completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were to see that, yeah, but I mean, if we were to see something like this, I'd be like, holy shit, this is so different. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And even, Zack said, I mean, it's obvious that Zack did shoot different versions of scenes. So even, and obviously they were shooting like stuff that Jeff Johns was writing on the set and rewriting Chris's script. And so even stuff that we've seen that Zack shot, that's not going to be in the film because he was forced to film that stuff. So there's going to be different takes and different versions, and it's a completely different film. Yeah.
I can't wait. I really cannot wait to see. It's going to be such a great movie, or series for that matter. And of course, obviously, after every here's the hard part, is that you want to say after every episode we're going to have a roundtable to talk about each episode, but here's the problem: is that if it's streaming, does that mean it's available that morning, or is it going to be released at a certain time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they even know yet.
I don't know if they even know. But the thing is that if they do it at a certain time, it has to be released it has to be released at the same time like pretty much all over the world, because you
Yeah.
can't release it at one time and then 8 hours later another time, or like 4 hours later another time. It's just it would throw everything off. Like you have to put it out there all at once for everyone to see it at the same exact time.
Yeah, hopefully. It'll be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see the release model and how long. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be weekly. I mean, they're gonna, because I think it's rumored that they're going to have like a special behind the scenes or something, or a documentary like thing at the end of each part. So they're obviously going to milk it and
Yeah.
yeah. So it's gonna be great.
Well, they're gonna do what they did with like Game of Thrones, where basically after every episode, it's gonna do the inside of the episode. And I thought whenever they would do those, or when they would do those after every episode of Game of Thrones, I thought those were so good. I loved watching the inside of the episode right afterwards, because it gave you such a different, such a good insight on each character, on what was happening.
Yeah.
And so this is gonna make it so much better. And obviously, it's gonna be Zach talking, so it's just gonna be like.
I mean, any chance for Zach to talk about the film, it's just gold. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so great! I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see it. I've been talking about it like all the time. My wife's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be really cool." I'm like, "No, it's not gonna be really cool. It's gonna be amazing." But
also, I was kind of, yeah, it was weird that they didn't announce the date that it was going to be coming. But I guess that we're obviously the trailer was a teaser trailer, so when we get the official first trailer, full trailer, that's probably when we're going to get the date. I suppose that at the end of the trailer they'll reveal the date. And that's just me guessing, but I hope they do that. Hopefully we get another trailer maybe before the end of the year. I don't know, maybe January. Hopefully, I don't know, but it depends. I hope it comes. I mean, I hope the rumor that it's in May. That or March.
I think it will, because you want to, in my opinion at least, you want to do it before the summer hits, because if you release it in the summertime, people are traveling. It's just there's too much going on in the summer.
And you want to be separate from the Suicide Squad and the Batman. You want
exactly.
It to be a good space between each project, so it just works. And I think May is the perfect time. Personally, I mean, if it's sooner, great. But I think May, is gives enough time, because they're obviously going to do additional photography. It gives get all the CGI right, get it absolutely perfect, so that it's just every shot is just perfection. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Joker is dropping some crazy stuff right now. I mean, look at this. Yeah. I'm bringing the wrath of the seven seals, not C's. That's Zach's line. The seven seals that summon apocalypse. Who says that? I mean, Joker, you dropped in here and you dropped two chats that are blowing everyone's mind, man. I mean, this is getting kind of crazy. And like ACS says, it's going to be fire.
Yeah.
Another thing that's going to be fire, which I'm probably kind of like prematurely announcing this, but whatever. So I reached out to a number of hosts today, and what we're going to do is we are going to have a watch party of, and I'm going to break my own rule here. We're going to have a watch party of Justice League. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this movie with everyone in the chat and all that. And we are going to basically, we're going to rip the shit out of this movie, and we're going to roast the hell out of it. It's going to be, so far, it's going to be me, Ryan from Zeverfet, Dawson, Nerdy Many Ways, Anthony from ACS Universe, and Zod Rider. And we're all just going to tear into this fucking movie. And it's going to be a long stream. So
easy.
Yeah. And it's going to be really easy to do it, like you said. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. We're hoping to get that done before DC Fandom. but we'll see. It's based on our schedules and availability, so we'll see how that works out. Yes, it's going to be a roast party. I like that. I like that a lot. It's going to be a roast party.
Yeah,
We're going to roast the shit out of this movie because I mean, at this point now, you might as well, because now it's done. It's irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, it can just die.
It can just die. You can just throw it away and it won't matter,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Tina, I go through the same thing with my girl. She says that so that's cool. I'm like, what? Cool. It's gonna be fucking incredible. No, it is. It's gonna be fucking incredible. And you guys, like I had to say myself earlier, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be doing this again tomorrow night.
Do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, do the right thing. Exactly. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and finish out the last two topics that we had set up. Now, there's a show that I started watching last night that I absolutely fell in love with. I put it on last night. My wife was like, "What the fuck are we watching?" And I said, "No, I want to see this." She's like, "Well, what's it about?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" I'm like, "I just heard it's really good." I'm like, "Sil told me that like I have to watch it." So I was like, we got to watch it. And she's like, "Well, what is? We don't even know what it's about." And so, of course, my wife, being very detailed, she went online to go look up what the hell is Lovecraft Country. And then she started saying it's it's a horror story, but and it's. I was like, wait, what? And so we started watching it. But here's the thing I love about the show. What's up? M Siggy just subscribed. Thank you, M Siggy. Here's the thing, though, is that what I love about the show so much is that even though these monsters and the whole magic side can be scary in the show, nothing is as scary as the reality of the racism that existed and still exists to this day.
I mean,
but that is the scariest part.
Yeah, it's the genius of Misha Green that in horror you can like showing all these kind of horrific things, but nothing is truly terrifying as the racism at the time.
Yeah.
And it's so, important now, more than, back then and now it just speaks volumes. It's an amazing show. Yeah.
Oh, it's really incredible. And was it
Misha Green for Black Canary? That is all I'm saying.
She is unbelievable in this show.
Yeah.
Misha Green, just like she kills it she's on a whole nother level. I mean, they all do such a great job on this show, but she takes it to that. She elevates her game in that show, and there's just and everything she does, when it's her just dancing, when it's her singing, when it's her just doing her dialogue, there's just so much substance there.
Jenny Smollett Bell, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so if you guys haven't seen Lovecraft Country, check it out. It's on HBO Max. Subscribe to HBO Max. Jessica will subscribe to it once it's available in the UK.
Well, that's actually a thing, because the over here in the UK, I don't, unless they do something kind of soon, that apparently that HBO Max isn't going to be available since 2025 in the UK, apparently. So
what?
Yeah, I know, it's like a whole thing.
It's so weird. It's kind of like I don't understand what it's just an app that plays content. Like, why is this so hard?
Because HBO has a deal that extends to 2025 with Sky. That's the whole thing. So I think in the UK it's available via, if you've got Sky, or Sky is like streaming service in the UK called Now TV. That's where I've been watching it. So I think that's how we're going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, through Sky in the UK. But heck, if they do something to kind of break out of that contract, I'll as soon as HBO Max is available here, I'm a day one subscriber. But
so
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy the logistics of all this, and it's just like, man, I don't understand. And guys, we are going to be joined by one more guest. He is a legend in these parts. Some know him as a cult leader. Others see him as a beacon of hope. His name is Enosh, Lord Enosh, and he is here with us today.
What's going on, man? Hey, it's good to see you all. You know, I'm just a regular old guy, man. Just, that's all. But sometimes I channel the goodness that is the Poindexter Lounge, and I channel into the Snyder cult, which we are all a part of. But hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. But it's good to see you. I just got done with my stream. It is like 4:30 in the morning where I'm at, and so I'm just getting ready to go to bed. And so I just thought I'd stop over and say hi because you invited me, and that's the type of guy I am. And then I see that you have a lovely guest here with you, and so hi, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah, this is Jessica Blake.
That hat.
Thank you. You like that? I like this hat too. Yeah, and I'm going to be challenging Ryan here pretty quick for cool Superman T-shirts.
Oh,
because
wow!
You like that? Isn't that cool?
That's a good one. I like that with Doomsday punching through your chest.
Heck yeah, dude. Wait till you see some of these shirts that I just picked up. I just bought a whole slew of shirts, and I was telling Ryan there's one specific one that I'm holding off until I'm on a stream with Ryan for him to see this shirt, because I know that he's got everything. That guy's got every superhero shirt.
Everything.
But I guarantee you he doesn't have. If he has this one, I'll be very surprised. So,
all right.
Yeah, but hey. So, but I like your take. What was your name again?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. What was your
Jessica Blake.
Jessica, it's very nice to meet you, and I like your taste in hats. Thank you.
Oh, great.
So Enosh is the host of the Poindexter Lounge. So he has his own show. He has an amazing collection, as you can see behind him, that is already on display. It's incredible. That's a new one, that cardboard cutout.
Yeah, man, you like that?
Wow,
nice.
That was actually given to me. So we have Crush It, who's in a lot of our streams and stuff.
You're right.
Who chats in the streams is Crush It. So Crush It has an eBay store called the Miley Store, and so a few months ago, so a few months ago, he approached me and he said, he wrote me and he said, hey, if I send you a ton of comic books, will you do something good with them? Will you give them away weekly? And maybe we could do a partnership thing. And so he sent me a ton of comic books. And so every week we do a nerd question, and we give away comic books. And so we support him to send some business his way and stuff, and tell people to go support him on his at his store. And then we send out free comic books to people. Well, out of the blue, man, he sent me this Henry Cavill here. I was totally not even expecting it. He says, hey man, be looking for something. I'm sending you something in the mail. And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's in great condition too.
Oh,
it's not
dude,
even folded or anything. It's nice and smooth.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Is that one from BVS?
I believe so. Yeah. I believe it's the BVS one. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Sure is. Yeah. It's awesome. So here's the funny thing. So it came folded. He had taken the box, some Home Depot boxes, and folded them on, top of each other. So I just got back from vacation a couple of weeks ago. So I got a bunch of empty boxes sitting in my kitchen right now, where I emptied all the stuff, from all the toys and stuff we bought. And so I got boxes and stuff all over there. And so I didn't even see it because it was flat and it was laying there. And my wife had just been, cleaning out the garage with one of my sons, and I saw a Home Depot box out there, and so I thought that it was just hers with all the rest of them. So I went to work and I get this message from him, and he says, hey, did you did you get what I sent you? And I says, no, I haven't seen anything, because he had said it was a box. And so I'm thinking a box, and because he also said to me, he's like, well, I hope you give him a good home. And so I'm thinking he's sending me a toy or something like that. And so I'm like, no, man, I haven't seen it. Right? Yeah. It's a good home. It's a box with the holes in it. So he said that, and I'm like, no, dude, I haven't seen it. He says, well, it says that it got to you 2 days ago. And I was like, where in the world? I said, well, what is it? He says, well, you got to be careful because it's flat. And I was like, flat? And he goes, yeah, it's in a Home Depot box. I said, oh, it's flat? I said, well, okay, I know where it's at. He's like, you didn't throw it away, did you? I'm like, no, I didn't throw it away. So I came home and I actually opened it live on the air. And Yeah, and because I did it because since he sent it, I said, you know, hey, we'll support him a little bit. So I opened it live on the air, and I opened that thing up, and I was like, oh my gosh, he sent me Superman. He knows me. This is awesome. So yeah, it's a cool. It's great. It's awesome.
Cool.
So Akbar wanted to ask you, did Fatal hold up his end of the bargain? I'm trying to remember what he was supposed to have said. I think he did say it.
So he did. He
Yeah,
proclaimed
he
me
did.
king of the internet.
Yeah, he did it right then and there. I want to say, and then he left.
Yep, he sure did. He proclaimed me
left.
king of the internet. You know, the funny thing about that is I was just sharing this actually a few minutes ago on my channel. I have run across that comic book now 3 more times out in the wild since that day. I haven't seen that comic book in years, Nickatina. And then literally
and
since
we're talking
that
about what was it? Bloodsport?
Bloodsport,
yeah.
Does he have he has a solo run?
I don't know that he had a solo run, but what it was that
he's gonna get it now. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
He's gonna get it.
You have it, right?
Oh, you know what? I do. I have it in the other room. I have it right in it's still on my kitchen. He was Bloodsport was a Superman villain.
Yeah.
And so it appeared many times. And so the day of Fandom, Fatal J was I guess he wasn't too thrilled with the fact that Idris Elba was going to be playing Bloodsport. And so he was making that known, and they were all in the comment section. I wasn't on Zeverfet's stream because I didn't have all my stuff set up, and I was waiting to stream that night. And so I was just on my phone. And so he had sent me the link, but I didn't want to go ahead and jump in with just my phone. And so I was just sitting there waiting. Well, they all started kind of talking over it and putting it down and kind of making fun of it and stuff. And I was like, hey guys, come on, don't act like you're too cool for this. And I'm like, it's Bloodsport. And there's like, oh yeah, nobody cares about Bloodsport. Nobody cares about Bloodsport. And I'm like, dude, it's Bloodsport, man. Come on. And he's like, Enosh, you don't know nothing about Bloodsport. And he's like, you're just talking. And I'm like, don't make me go get my 90s comics out right now. And he's just like, it's like, I tell you what, if Enosh produces a comic book with Bloodsport in it, he says, then I will proclaim him king of the internet. And so I was like, challenge accepted. So I just went right upstairs, got in one of my long boxes, like 1993. There it is. All right, pulled that out and came back with it. That was a beautiful moment. The look on his face was precious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then he said it, and then he left. Like immediately, he left.
Yep, that was great. That was great. And I've teased him a couple of times about it in just different chats and stuff, but it was just fun. Good stuff.
So the last topic that we were going to discuss, Enosh, was, and I believe it's coming out later today on HBO Max or Sky, which would be Raised by Wolves. And this was done by Ridley Scott. But to me, this looks really, really cool. But I think it's that narrative of, here comes the humans and they're corrupt and they're bad and a whole bunch of them are going to die because they're bad guys and the robot is the good guy. And, I'm still going to watch it because it looks really cool, but I think they've explored that narrative so many times, but obviously this may be a different take on it. I'm not sure. But what do you guys think?
It's getting great reviews. I mean, it's supposed to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really good.
I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Yes, and I'm sure I'll get on that with Zeverfed. He needs to know who Cyclone is for sure. Yeah, you know what? So people were talking about this on my stream just a little while ago. Honestly, this one flew under the radar on me. I didn't know what it was, and then they were starting to fill me in on it. And I mean, like, look, Ridley Scott, I'm intrigued for sure. Like you had me at Ridley Scott. But yeah, it's an interesting concept from what they were talking about today. And so, you always get those things where it's like, the big bad humans or the big bad, this guy or that guy or whatever, and so hopefully it's not that, but I don't know, man. From what I've just heard, it sounds very interesting. And so I haven't even heard any reviews. So to hear Jessica say that it's getting good reviews, that's
I mean, if I watched Grace Randall's review and she
gave
it great reviews. So yeah, I mean it's exciting because I can't wait to. From the trailer, it just looks incredible. So I'm excited.
Well, dang, I'm gonna have to go check it out, man. To hear
Yeah.
you guys talking about it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Trailer looks really good.
It looks like a massive movie, but it's a show. It's just it looks really great.
So the hard part that I'm going to have is that, tomorrow when I get off work, my plan was to come in here and do another episode or another stream, I should say. But I wanted to watch the show. So I'm kind of conflicted. I'm going to try to fit it in maybe before I go to work or somehow afterwards. So we'll see. In a perfect world, I'm going to watch it and then do the show. But because of work, that's not going to happen. But I'll think of something. But I definitely want to see it. It looks really, really good. And yeah, it's gotten really good reviews so far. So it looks like it's going to be another great show from HBO Max. And we were talking about LoveCraft Country. I don't know if you've seen that already.
So I haven't watched it yet. No. So honestly, I've been offline now for like, dang, almost a week.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And like, I
you've
didn't
been laying low.
I didn't set out to do that, but it's just like I got busy doing stuff around here, and then we started like binging some stuff that we haven't watched that we've been wanting to watch. And so and Bill and Ted came out. I had to watch Bill and Ted, and and I did a.
I mean, we got Tenet in the UK early, but I'm so jealous about you guys because in the UK we don't get Bill and Ted for like until the end of September.
Oh man!
Oh really?
Yeah, we get it on like the 23rd of September. I'm
oh my goodness!
Jealous.
Oh my goodness!
It looks so good. Yeah.
It was so I and I don't want to get off on a big thing on that, but I love Bill and Ted. Okay, I absolutely love Bill and Ted, and I had to my family is pretty easy to please. Like they all fell in love with it like from the very first minute, right? Like there were things about it that were absolutely hilarious and great, but I didn't. There were some things that I had to watch a second time, but then after I saw them, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is But I think it's anything that's like 30 years old like that you have to come back and visit after so long. You don't really know what to expect that first time, so you're kind of like I was watching for all these things, but they handled it really, really well.
Yeah.
But then I started watching The Boys. I hadn't watched The Boys yet, and so
you hadn't watched The Boys?
No, because I haven't had an Amazon account, and then come to find out, my wife's had one for 2 months.
Oh, that's a great show. I love The Boys.
Dude, just in time too, because they got a what's his name?
Hey, season 2
they got a
starts
couple
tomorrow.
I know, dude. They got a couple. I know, dude. I know the second season is like starting right now, and then also they got action figures coming out. They got a couple of action figures coming out here. So yeah, so I'm excited. Like I was like, yeah, I found it just in time, man. It's awesome.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, it's today, season 2.
Yep. So we got I think 3 episodes to finish off season 1, and then we'll go right into season 2. So it's gonna be good. But I have not watched LoveCraft Country yet. No, I that's another one that I keep meaning to.
Did you watch Watchmen?
No, I've watched the first episode of Watchmen, but I didn't have HBO. And honestly, I don't have HBO Max yet. Because I've been holding off because there's all this other stuff that I need to watch. And so like I knew that I wasn't going to get to it right away. Like if the Snyder Cut had been coming out right away, I would have just gotten it, right? But because I know that there's all this other content, like I'm already subscribed to DC Universe, Netflix, Disney, all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, I got to give it a minute.
Well,
when it's needed.
Going, isn't it? So
yeah,
you need to watch the whole of Watchmen. It's just.
That's what I hear.
I need to finish that series because I started watching it and it was really good. And then well, that's when I was watching on HBO. And then now I have HBO Max, and it's one of the series that I've been trying to get around to watching.
Where are you up to?
Not very far, I'll tell you that. Like I got as far as I don't want to spoil it for Enosh, but when what's his name, the police chief. Oh no, I was past that scene. I was past that episode after he died.
Oh well,
anyhow,
the second half is just. I mean, it's really good to start off with, but the second half of that show is just incredible, especially episode 6. I mean, just incredible. And apparently, Lovecraft Country is being like compared to Watchmen. It's kind of like the horror Watchmen.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
kind of,
You know, the pacing on Watchmen, the pacing on Lovecraft Country, I can't explain it. Like sometimes it goes a little too fast, and other times it goes kind of slow. It's really weird. It has a strange pace to it.
yeah. I mean, because a lot happens in the first 3 episodes, and it kind of, I mean, the 3rd episode, people are saying it's kind of like a season premiere, like in a way, even though it's 3. I mean, they're talking about a lot happens in those first 3 episodes, so people are kind of, I don't know how it's going to continue. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, Grace Randall's review, she said that she liked episode 1 and didn't like the rest, but personally I loved episode 2 and 3. So
yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah, so I don't know what she's on about, but you know.
You know what's funny is that we were watching episode 2, and not to give it away or anything, but towards the very end, after the whole bridge scene, my youngest son woke up and came in the bedroom. He's 2 years old. I was like, "Oh no, but pause this!" And so then I took him and put him back in his room, and I put him back to bed, and I came back, and the episode was over. I was like, what? My wife was watching it, and I was like, "What happened?" And she's like, "What?" and I said, "What happened in the episode?" And she was like, I don't know how to describe what I just saw." so she had to rewind it so we could watch it again, because it was a whole ceremony scene.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't. It's better if you see it. If I describe it, it's just gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
You know, she just needs to see it. It's
Okay.
incredible.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will. Like I said, we just finished a bunch of stuff. We finished F is for Family. I don't know if you've ever watched F is for Family.
No.
So Matt Jarbo suggested that one to me because it's an animated thing that takes place in the 70s, and it's pretty funny. If you grew up in the 70s or the early 80s, like it'll take you back. And so just a lot of stuff that they poke fun of that was like that's not okay today, that was okay back then, like people smoking in the hospital, like the doctors like literally sitting there and like examining, a pregnant woman and just like puffing away and just
like Mad
funny.
Men.
Yeah, it's just funny stuff, but it's animated and it's pretty funny. So we finished watching 4 seasons of that.
Wow, 4 seasons.
Yeah, man. Yep, but we finished it.
I know. I'm just now getting back on a kick of like actually watching series. For a while there, it was like there was just nothing going on, and it was bad. I was watching some movies that were on Netflix that were just.
Have you watched The Umbrella Academy?
Yo,
you know what?
yes. We started season 2 and I got to finish season 2, but yeah.
I need to watch that. That was one of the ones that my wife watched. So I used to work in the early morning, right? So at about, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10, I would go to bed because I have to get up early in the morning. And so she used to stay up late and watch shows. And so that was one of the ones that she watched without me. And I'm like, oh man. And it was really hard to watch something when, so now that I'm working at night, so now I asked her, hey, let's watch Umbrella Academy. I already saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen it yet though. Come on. So I'm going to try and watch that one too.
I put so much stuff off so that I could watch it with either my wife or my family. And it's like, and that's how I get behind, because it's like, just like even somebody asked me about like Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Right. And I'm waiting to watch it with the family. Like I had to put my foot down about Bill and Ted, because my son, I got 3 boys. And so my son, I got 2 stepsons and my son. And so my son decided to go to stay with his mom over the next few days or whatever. And so he left on Friday morning. And I was like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm going to go stay with mom for a few days. I'm like, okay. But you realize I'm not going to wait to watch Bill and Ted, right? Like, I know you want to see Bill and Ted, and I'm going to buy it one day, but I'm not waiting 7 days for you to come back to watch Bill and Ted. I am watching Bill and Ted today. So just know that right now.
Just know that it will happen.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yes, I'm not going to wait for you. So, don't, it's like not like these other stuff. But yeah, somebody was asking me about Superman Man of Tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for a couple of the kids and stuff. But I think I'm just going to end up watching it and then watch it again. And then I'll just fall. Then they can just be mad at me when I fall asleep on the couch. We've literally had live streams of stuff where it's like, I'm so tired because I'm like up here like at 4:50 in the morning doing live streams where it's like, I'm like on the couch the next night doing our live stream and stuff, watching Stargirl. And it's like, I'm really into it, but I'm like,
just barely hanging on.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, awesome.
So Enosh had a week of he had the week of hell. So Enosh for 1 week was on like everybody's stream, right?
Yes,
because he was engaged in some stuff that was going on.
It's the day I became the leader.
Yeah, the day he became the leader of the
I became the leader
of the cult.
Of the cult.
And I remember I forgot which show you were on. He was on one of the shows. I forgot which one it was. And his face, I mean, he was like this. He was just like, yeah, man, yeah.
I think it was Max's show because that's where I felt like I could really just like let down my hair because those are the guys I've been streaming with forever. So at that point I kind of fell asleep and I'm just kind of sitting here listening to them talk. I'm like, yep.
It takes a lot out of you. It really does.
Dude, I fell asleep in this chair twice that week because it was like it was over 3 days. I was on like 17 different streams. And so yeah, man, I fell asleep twice right here in this chair. Just
now, Jessica, you're going to start your own show as well. Is that right?
Well, maybe not show, but I'm launching a YouTube sometime after part 2 of DC Fandom. And it's going to be, to start off with, I'm going to do like edits and kind of super edit kind of videos, and the beginning of the channel is going to be like, I'm going to do like DCEU videos. Like I'm going to do each, because one of my favorite parts of the films are the scores, and I love like editing audio, and so just to kind of get into the rhythm of the channel, I'm going to do like a super edit of each DCEU film and do kind of edit the audio of the score in a kind of way that kind of edit the audio into, because I'm like editing audio is like one of my favorite things.
Awesome.
So I'm going to do it in a kind of probably a way that you've never kind of heard it before. I can't really say too much, but it's going to be cool.
That sounds good already. I'm like, yeah. Cool. See, that's good because I mean, like, to be honest, all the streams that I do are all just live streams. Like I don't do anything pre-recorded, unfortunately. And in fact, if you look at it, big picture wise, the way I'm doing it is actually the lazy way, because I'm just basically turn on my camera like, hey everybody. But
that's how I feel sometimes too, because traditionally I had always done like videos, to actually shoot videos, write videos, doing stuff. And it does. I have felt that way because people keep finding my channel now because of my Mark Uno videos. Right. And so like people have been bugging me about the Mark Uno stuff, because like they found me doing the Mark Uno stuff, making fun of Mike Zero. And so now like they're like, when's the next Mike Zero video coming out? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like I gotta write it. I gotta make it. I'm like, it's like, but you guys want me to come on here and do a 4-hour live stream? Like I need time. I used to do them like, at like midnight after the whole family went to bed, and I'd pull out, all the stuff in the green screen and all that stuff and do the whole spiel and like be up till 4 a.m. But doing that, I'm like, now it's like I'm talking with you fine people, which I love. But like you said, like I feel like I'm doing it like the easy way, just like,
hey, you just like turn it on, like, hey, let's talk, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I absolutely have a blast doing these. It's so much fun. Just getting to talk to you guys and hanging out with everyone in the chat. Like I said, I am going to be on here tomorrow night as well. And we're almost at the what was it? We're at an hour and 45 minutes. This went longer than I thought it was going to go. But I am going to go ahead and say thank you, Jessica, so much for coming on the stream. I appreciate you so much. Enosh, you're always welcome here, and thank you so much for coming on here.
Absolutely.
We talked about a few different topics, and well, that's not it. Hold on. But we talked about multiverse. We talked about John Boyega. Talked about Raised by Wolves, Lovecraft. We're gonna do a watch party, and we are gonna do a watch party where we rip the shit out of Justice League. I said
nice.
Nice.
But here's the real question though, man. Did at any point, come on if I can get it open. If at any point did you talk about this guy that I'm going to share with you here in just a second, because this is the real test right here, man.
Here we go.
Did you talk about this guy right here?
Oh my God, what is that? Wait, what the heck? Oh wait, no.
Do you know who that is?
Hold on, I'm trying to get it. I didn't do it right. There it is.
That's Captain Carrot, man.
Wow. Okay.
He's a DC character.
Wow. Okay.
Like, wow. Okay. That's a DC character. He was spliced with Superman. This is a real DC character. I will show you now the new updated version of Captain Carrot. This guy's real. This is totally legit. This is not something I'm making up. This is totally legit. This is a DC character that somebody
one of the few characters I don't know about. Gosh.
Yeah, well, he was at Cup of Malik, actually.
He's here too.
Yeah, he's here, and he totally reminded me of this, and it was something that I hadn't even thought of in forever. But like now, this is the updated version. This is what he looks like now that I just shared.
Oh, he's very edgy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's a real. He looks like the Nestle Quick rabbit, like in the last one. Make some chocolate milk for.
It's DC's own Squirrel Girl in a kind of way.
Yeah, it's a DC character, but there you go. So
that's
what we talked about in my 4.5 hour stream earlier.
About Captain Carrot, or did you talk about Emergency Awesome in Wars 2?
No, we didn't talk about them. No, just Captain Carrot for 4.5 hours. No. We talked about a million different things, but and by the way, Koozie Cast. I don't know if you've seen my my actual things. Yes, I'm very, very aware that Mike Zero is clickbait. That's the point of my videos. They're actually parody videos of Mike Zero. So there you go. We had some fun.
And real quick, I did watch your video, or at least most of your video that you did with your co-host for the Mike Zero videos.
Johnny Pop. Johnny Pop. 2 cents on nonsense. Yes.
And the last Mike Zero video was that was out there. I was like, dude, what is happening right now?
Dude, every time I ever listen to either Mike Zero or Mike. Yeah. Get rid of Captain Carrot. Yeah, Captain Carrot. Oh, leave him up there. Views are going up. You took him off. Views are going down.
Keep him going. Oh, look at it. And Cup of Malik's here as well.
Well, yeah, because Cup of Malik was talking about that. Like he had his zoo crew with Iron Pig, Flashback, and Wonder Poodle.
Gosh.
Wonder Poodle. Shiny Knight used to ride a huge Dalmatian dog instead of the what is he talking about?
Shining Knight used to ride on huge Dalmatian dogs instead of horses.
This is where this stream has gone.
I think he's talking about a character named Shining Knight who used to ride on Dalmatians instead of horses. What's up, Cut Air? What's up, Cut Air? Anyway,
Jesse came back.
Anyways, no. So the thing is that I don't remember what we were just talking about. No,
I don't know either.
I don't know, man. But no, we were talking about Captain Carrot there. I'll tell you what, Cup of Malik has some great comic knowledge. I'll tell you what, you ever want to get into, there's some great people in our streams, Nickatina, who have just some amazing comic book knowledge and history. And I mean, it's really great having a conversation with some of these people, because there's so many people that we talk with or like have talked about in the past that like they literally just want to argue stuff that like they don't know anything about comics. They just know what they like because they used to watch Super Friends, which I love Super Friends. I watch Super Friends, but like that's their version of who these DC characters are. And like I even talked about just a little while ago that like I had to do kind of a correction on myself, because when I first saw Pattinson's Batmobile, I hated it. And I was like, what is this? Like, it's just a regular, like muscle car. Like I was getting all upset.
It's
then
Neil Adams, pretty much, isn't it?
yeah. And then I had to remember, and you hit it. See, I like her, Nickatina. She's
very good.
Because
She's very good.
it's very Neil Adams. Because like I started thinking about it, I was like, well, wait a second. And I actually went out and like bought up a bunch of old Batman comics. Because I used to have the whole set of like when they introduced Jason Todd and all that stuff. And I started thinking about that time. And so I remembered that like at the time, on the space of a couple months, like they showed that Batman basically just had a Corvette Stingray.
Yeah.
That was just a black Stingray, didn't have a bat on it, didn't have nothing. I mean, the closest it had to it was the license plate had this bat symbol on it. And that was it.
Okay.
And that was it. And just showed him driving away with Robin, in there. And then also the night that Jason Todd stole the wheels off the Batmobile and met Batman, he was just his Lamborghini. And that was it. And it's got the huge windshield. Because my biggest part was the windshield. All the rest of the car looks cool, but the windshield was like, that windshield better be like really super bulletproof, because that's a huge windshield on a regular looking car. And it's like, what's the point of having a windshield? Because the windshield's going to get knocked out every night that Batman takes that thing out. But like I said, I'm looking at it, and there's his Lamborghini that's got this huge windshield on it. So you know what? I did this. I said, it's comic book accurate. I need to shut up.
Yeah.
And so I stopped hating on it after that. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a chance now. And that's what I see. That's like people, they don't know comics. And so, but like when I remembered that, I was like, I can't argue it. And that's what I was saying on my stream. It's like, I'm willing to even put aside my own personal tastes if somebody shows me that they're doing the homework, because that's what we were talking about. Zack Snyder. People are always on Zack Snyder about stupid stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I retweeted like a tweet about something in the comics about Superman that is literally what Zach has done with the character. And so people need to read more comics, I think.
Yes.
It's all in there. I mean, Zach is a comics guy.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Oh, well, that's the thing that I said. I said, Zack Snyder, you can love him, hate him, whatever, but Zack Snyder has given us the most comic accurate depictions of characters.
Yeah.
That he has dealt with than anybody has ever given us. And so, and like somebody was talking about, like, even just the little things like we think of Easter eggs as, oh yeah, Green Lantern's in the background flying around. Isn't that cool? Right. But it's not that, because his Easter eggs are Batman standing in a specific pose when a flash of lightning goes off for like half a second. That's the Easter egg, like that's, and it's like, so it's stuff like that it's like, you can't, you obviously can't know every comic book that's ever been made, but if somebody tells you, hey, it's in the comics, read up on it,
Or in, I think it was Man of Steel, the moon that was kind of destroyed. And apparently
let me tell you something, Jessica, that blew my mind when I actually watched the watch party that day. Because I was like, wait a second, what? Like I had totally missed that. And when you started talking about that was Doomsday, I was like, well,
mind blown. Yeah.
That was crazy. I remember when he said that, I was like, wait, what? Like, it didn't even dawn on me. I was like, oh my God, I guess he's right.
Because obviously the BVS Doomsday isn't the actual Doomsday.
Yeah, he was not the real Doomsday. He was not.
And so there's an actual Doomsday out there. It's just
so cool.
Cool.
And we don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I know.
Where is he? What's he doing? It's like, where's he spend his Friday nights?
Yeah.
Like,
what is he eating?
Is he going to show up and kill Superman again? And we're going to have to do this all over again?
That would be something.
No, not again.
Justice League Part 3. Justice League Part 3 that was the plan this whole time. Superman dies again and still kicks Death's butt and comes back.
Yeah.
Ooh, wouldn't you love to see Zack Snyder's version of the Reign of the Supermen, though?
Oh yeah.
I just want to see
that would be really good.
I just want to see a live action of that.
That'd be incredible.
Good stuff.
Or a live action adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. I think Zach was talking about that, I think, recently, that they could still do that in the future. That'd be really cool.
Be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I have to go to bed. I have to work in the morning.
I gotta get up in an hour. So
he's like, I gotta be at the church in 20 minutes.
It's 10 a.m. here for me.
Oh,
You're crazy.
you're lucky. Can we
It's
just
2
go back
a.m.
in
where I'm
time?
at.
Let's go back in time. We're in,
Is it 5 where you're at, Enosh?
it is 5:05. Yes,
5:05. He's been up all night long.
I have. I started off my show with Max teasing him about like how he had to get up in the morning because I had started off my show tonight going, "Hey guys, I know I haven't been on in a week, but you know what? I'm not going to do like some epic 4-hour stream like I'm used
And
to
then
doing.
you did. And
I'm
you
just
did,
going to
and
do
you
like
did.
an hour and a half or something like that." And then more people kept coming in and wanting to talk, and I was just like, "Okay, let's just bring it on."
I know. Like I even had Andrew who wanted to come on, and other people in the chat wanted to come on, but we can only do. I can only do so much. And I was really gonna have this be like an hour-long show, but talking with Jessica, we just started going on and on about all kinds of different topics.
Yeah.
We talked a little about The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That's one of Enosh's favorites.
Yeah.
So
I like The Last Jedi.
Andrew, it's 2
See,
a.m.
I like this girl. Where did you find her?
She's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Actually, Still introduced me to her the first
Jessica
time.
Blake 98. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
At Jessica Blake 98 on Twitter.
Jessica Blake 98. Well, I am going to look her up because if she likes The Last Jedi and she likes DC stuff, man,
she likes a lot of good shit. I'm telling you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I'm over here talking to her
she's-
like the whole time. I'm like falling in love with her. I'm like God, where have you been? And then I'm gonna go inside like, hey babe, guess what? What? I'm like, oh, never mind.
Jessica Blake 78, right? That's what it was?
98.
Oh, 98. Well, we don't want 78. We don't want 78. I don't know who that chick is. We don't want her.
Hey, honey.
You start to wait. Hold on. I'm already following you.
Yeah.
I'm already following. See, I'm ahead of that game. I found her first.
Wow.
It's 5:07 in the morning. and
Hello,
you're-
no.
Perspectives here on the Nickatina show. Perspectives with Enosh, Nickatina, and Jessica Blake, who I am apparently already following on Twitter.
Oh shit.
I mean, John Cena follows me, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, the problem with that though is you don't see him though.
Well, no, not even. Yeah.
I have a guy named John Cena who follows me too. I don't know if it's a real John Cena. I hope it is. I say that. I tell myself that it is, but
No, it is. It is. He follows lots of DC fans, apparently.
Really?
So, yeah.
Now hold on a second, because I got a John Cena guy who follows me, and I just thought it was like, oh, if that's really John Cena, my kids are gonna flip.
It
Now
definitely
let's
is. 'Cause it's the official one, and he posts like about the Suicide Squad and everything. So
Hold on a second. What? No, that can't be the guy who follows me.
Take this thing off my screen. It's like down here in the corner. I'm sticking looking at this damn thing.
Oh, the
Captain Carrot.
You don't want to look at Captain Carrot anymore? Come
He's
on,
just
man.
down there staring at me. I'm like, God, go away.
I'm coming for you.
Those white eyes.
He's my sidekick, man. Like if I'm the Doom Dexter, if I'm the Lord of all of the Snyder cult, he's my sidekick. Yeah, I'll take that down.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
It's nice meeting you, Jessica.
Oh, you too, Enosh.
So
Great.
And now I'll be mindful of who you are next time that I see one of your tweets. I promise.
So let's go around the horn. Jessica, tell them where they can find you or follow you.
Well, yeah, so on Twitter, I'm at Jessica Blake 98, and on
I can attest to that.
Yes, yeah.
Not 78, but 98.
That was the problem. I was looking for that 78 girl, man.
On Instagram, I'm Jessica Blake 37, just because that was a random number.
She's throwing a wrench into it.
Oh,
yeah.
it's just a random number.
37.
I try to decipher it.
I'm sorry. It's 5:09 in the morning, and all of a sudden I'm getting the giggles. It's 37, such a random number.
I know, it's like, yeah, when you like get Instagram, they just like randomly pick a number, and it's like whatever.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah, and YouTube coming soon. I can't really say when, because I'm still kind of preparing all that stuff, but sometime after DC Fandom Part 2, which would be
Nice.
Be cool.
Now, remember, if you start your channel early with 0 content, just remember that we will all subscribe to Jessica Blake's channel, whatever you choose to call it. Maybe Jessica Blake.
I mean,
that's it.
That's literally it. It's just my name, but
Just Jessica Blake 42 because it's the
Yeah.
answer to everything.
yeah, maybe
442 is the answer to everything, right? So
Hey, I literally just thought about this right now, and then Joker said it. Your name is like a superhero name, Jessica Blake.
I'll take it. Whatever.
I like it.
I like
So, like I said, if you do decide to put the channel out there early with no content, because our good friend Sil Abdul did the same thing. He had the channel out there with nothing on it, and he gained like almost 100 subscribers right away. I was like, he's gonna pass me. I can tell you that.
I think I have already put it out, but because it's my name, it's so hard to like find on YouTube. So when I do start releasing content, and I'll link it on Twitter and everything so that people can go to the channel, that's when I think people can subscribe, just because there's so many Jessica Blakes on YouTube. So it's just like, yeah. But yeah, I'm for my YouTube launch, I'm gonna have a Twitter event kind of thing on my Twitter channel. So that's going to be a whole thing, and there's more info coming with that. But yeah, I can't really talk about it much now, but it's coming. It's going to be cool.
Is Ben Affleck going to be involved, and will there be a Green Lantern on your channel?
Blink twice if yes.
I can't speak to any of that, but you know,
The Snyder
one can hope.
Enosh,
Yes.
where can they find you?
They can find me at Josh Gad Hater 426 at Twitter.
What's wrong with Josh Gad? He plays Olaf. I love him.
No,
He's such a nice person.
So no, dude, Josh Gad sucks.
All right, moving on. So,
It's
where
hilarious.
can they find you? Where can they find you?
You can find me at the Poindexter Lounge. Well, Poindexter Lounge on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Poindexter Lounge, but without the E. So it's just Poindexter because for Twitter wouldn't give me one more letter. So I'm just one letter over. So it's just Poindexter without the E in the middle. And then I'm also on Instagram, Poindexter Lounge. And I think we got all the major Facebook. We're on
Facebook,
at Poindexter Lounge. And then you can just find me on all those things as well. So
cool.
Yep.
All right.
We can share in the hatred of Josh Gad.
And obviously, you can follow me on Twitter at Nickatina _show, and also on subscribe to me on Twitch. It is the _Nickatina _show. I will be doing more episodes. Obviously, I'll be back tomorrow night, like I said, and I'm also going to start doing more gaming episodes as well, where I'm going to start playing through the whole Arkham series. I think Nerdy did the same thing recently. So
nice.
So we're
starting a new thing on the channel. It's called the Josh Gad Beatdown. we're just for an hour. we just beat a picture of Josh Gad.
Anyhow,
I'll tell you my Josh Gad story
cool.
another time, buddy. There's a reason behind that. It's a funny story, isn't it?
If Josh Gad was here right now, this is what he would say to you.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
He wouldn't be afraid of you.
But you know what? He'd be a whole lot sweatier and be a whole lot fatter.
Let's kick some ice.
I say that as a fat guy. I joked that tonight that me and Matt Jarbo looked like we had a baby, and it was Josh Gad.
Hey, you were quite the big guy for a while there.
I was, man. I was at 430 pounds, man.
That's
Josh
crazy.
Gad could have been the Penguin. That's crazy.
Well, that's what got us talking about it. Was because because my friends. No. Did you hear the story, Nickatina?
No, but I already know this is probably gonna go into some. This is going on forever.
Well, no, it was a thread. It was a thread that because I've got the Poindexter Council on my channel sometimes, and so we have a little thread that we go back and forth in, and I never realized I hated Josh Gad, and so I shared this because somebody said to me they sent me a picture of they sent me this picture right here, which was Josh Gad with what's her name, Kravitz, who's playing
Zoe Kravitz.
yeah,
Zoe
yeah,
Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, and it's also a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito, right? And then below it says, "I have a question. Why didn't this happen? I heard that he was in talks," meaning Josh Gad, and then I just said, I think he looks interesting. Because they asked me what I thought of Colin Farrell's Penguin. And I said, I think he looks interesting, but we need to hear or see something out of him, but he's a really good actor. And I asked if they'd ever seen Phone Booth. And I said, that being said, I am so glad Josh Gad is nowhere near this movie. How that guy even gets work is beyond me. I feel uncomfortable every time I see the man on screen. and then it just went on from there. And then I'm like, somebody says, I would have loved to have seen what his character would have looked like as the Penguin. And I said, here, I'll set it up for you, because they gave me a hard time, because they were like, you can't give Olaf a hard time. And I'm like, whatever. I said, let me set it up for you. Josh Gad's Penguin. A fat, pudgy guy who smiles too much and always looks like he's sweating, even when he's not exerting himself. A guy who is uncertain of himself in every situation, and everyone else has to play up their acting ability so that he looks passable. Wow. I love Josh Gad. It was just like one of these funny things that like it just rolled off, that like all this hatred of Josh Gad. So I don't know why. It's just funny. This is funny to pick on Josh Gad. Well, hold on. You know who would make a great Penguin? Would have made a great Penguin, and this was my whole point. Was Philip Seymour Hoffman would have made an awesome Penguin.
Oh yeah.
Now, for all the people who say that Josh Gad would make a good Penguin, we all know how good Philip Seymour Hoffman is. Imagine Josh Gad next to Philip Seymour Hoffman and tell me that he's still anywhere in the same picture or in the same conversation as Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I rest my case. Josh Gad it's a great thing that he's not the Penguin.
Yeah. I mean that makeup for Colin Farrell looks.
Oh my gosh. I didn't believe it.
If Josh Gad was the Penguin, it would be more of like a musical, or it would be a much different tone
Batman
to it.
66 kind of thing. Yeah.
Animated.
Yeah, exactly. Animated.
It'd be animated, and it wouldn't even like be drawn.
It'd be a picture film. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the chat, Sickness, DC
Let it go.
Annie V, Cast, Joker, Andrew, all you guys who were here today. Master Blaster, thank you for all for chiming in with all your wonderful chats. And guys, Geeks Cosmics, thank you for being here as well. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. We need to do this again very soon. Enosh,
it'd be great. Yeah.
And Enosh, you know you're always welcome here. You can
Thanks,
just,
you're always welcome on my show, man.
I know. Actually, you know what's funny is I didn't even know I didn't realize you were streaming, and so then when I went to go set up my show, I looked over and you were live. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, I would have known that. I would try to get on at the end, but you were talking to what's his name? Tony, I think his name is.
Oh yeah. Tony's a great guy. Yeah, Tony's a great guy.
So, and let's not forget. Okay, there is one more thing. Oh man, there's one more thing, and I promised Alex that I was going to play his video.
Here's Josh Gad.
Here's Josh Gad. So Alex made a video, and this is how we're going to end the show. We're going to play this video on the way out. So basically, at this point, if this was a concert, the lights come on, I play this song, and everyone's walking out of the stadium.
Hi, guys. It's me, Josh Gad.
So, no more. Hold on. First, I got to set it up. I got to find it first. Oh, shit. Oh, here it is. I found it. That was fast. Wait, don't play. There we go. Okay. So, here we go. This is Alex from KoozyCast. And thank you, Joker, for stopping by, and thank you for blowing our minds, and then dropping some other knowledge that we didn't know what you were talking about. But you were talking about an Elseworld Batman, so that was awesome. But the other stuff that you were dropping, I don't know where you're getting it from, but it was really good.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Really, really good. And Enosh, if you don't know what we're talking about, I suggest you watch the replay. Okay, so here is the video from Alex McCuzycast, and I want to thank Jessica Blake for coming on here. I want to thank Enoch for stopping by, everyone in the chat, and we will see you guys next time once I get this dang thing going here, which I did not set up right. There it is. That's not it. There it is.
Phobic.
I haven't seen him forever. Okay, guys.
I saw him tonight.
Oh, cool.
I know. Here we go. Uh-oh, that's your audio? Yeah, I
did. Nice.
I did not forget.
Oh, I've seen this video. That's really cool.
Oh, that's cool. As a musician, I really appreciate this.
Yeah. It looks so good in black and white. God.
This is very cool. Because it's being done very unconventional. Like that's just awesome.
Knowing that we're going to get a Zack Snyder's Justice League in black and white, I'd love a BVS in black and white. So cool.
Yeah. Ooh.
This is such a great movie.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That was awesome.
That's so awesome. Good job.
It's awesome seeing the like the the practice of because we've seen so much of that stuff for Justice League. So if that's like official, seeing it's exactly the same as when they were practicing it. The action sequences in Zack Snyder's Justice League are just going to be got a 4-armed cyborg and just so exciting.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I really I cannot wait. And
guys, I gotta go.
Thank you for coming on. We will see you guys next time. And I'll be back tomorrow night. And yes, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Alex, for that video. That was incredible.
Yeah, brilliant.
And we'll see you guys next time.